On September 10, 2023, Saturday night into Sunday morning, everyone staying at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas was thrown into complete chaos when almost every single slot machine went completely haywire, spitting out tickets left and right and not accepting any money. Room keys also stopped working, trapping some people in their rooms and others out of their rooms. It was utter bedlam, and the situation did not improve for 11 days. Now, at first, no one knew what had happened. People were trapped in their hotel rooms, unable to get out. Slot machines were giving out free money, which inevitably led to people just taking as much free money as they could and then running away with it. There were reports of fights breaking out over the slot machines. Guests were asking other guests if they had any cash because they needed change in order to get out of their rooms. People couldn't check out. They couldn't check in. The entire place was shut down due to this cyber attack. And here's the thing, the whole incident was caused by a single phone call. That's it. A single phone call to the MGM Grand's IT help desk, and everything went down. Even their backup systems failed. Their contingency plans failed. This was not a large-scale physical attack where someone cut cables or something. Someone simply called up their IT department and said that they had a problem with their computer, and after that one call, the entire system collapsed like a house of cards. In the end, MGM Resorts would report an adjusted loss of $100 million for the third quarter due to this incident. So how did this happen? Well, according to the Cybersecurity police, a 19-year-old kid sitting in his bedroom in the suburbs of Columbus, Ohio hacked the entire system using nothing but a phone line and a laptop. His name is Joshua Hull and he is a member of a hacking collective known as Scattered Spider. Now it turns out that they tried to do this before and they even joked about it online, saying that they wanted to pull off the Ocean S13 style heist in the real world. Now if you don't know about the movie Ocean's 13, the basic premise is that Danny Ocean and his crew rig up all of the slot machines in a casino to pay out all the jackpots all at once. But the attempt to do this in real life proved to be a little more difficult, so they shifted to Plan B. You see, Plan B was to get access to the server where all the data is stored and then modify that data manually. This would uncause quite as big of a spectacle as if every single machine paid out its jackpot all at once. But it would still allow them to steal a lot of money, and it would cause just enough chaos that they could blend in with everyone else. In order to initiate the attack, one of the group members called up the MGM help desk and pretended to be a guest at the hotel. He said that he was having issues with his computer in his hotel room and asked if they could remotely connect to it to troubleshoot. The security guard that answered the phone didn't really know what to do, so he got connected anyway, and moments later, the hacker had complete control over the system. So how exactly did this even happen? How did such a small group of people take down such a massive company? Well, as it turns out, the weakest link wasn't the hotel's network, it was the human at the other end of the phone. Social engineering is actually one of the oldest hacking techniques in the book. It is often considered the easiest way to penetrate even the most secure systems, because many systems can be hacked simply by tricking the people who have access to them. You might think that a multinational corporation like MGM would have better security measures in place than a small mom-and-pop business, but surprisingly, that's not always the case. Big corporations tend to have elaborate technical defenses in place, but those only work if your employees are properly trained. MGM employees were not properly trained, and it cost them tens of millions of dollars. Once the hacker was able to get remote access to the network, he used an exploit known as Blue Screen of Death to gain complete access to the internal network. This is basically a way to crash a computer system and then replace its memory with malicious software. From there, it was pretty easy. The hacker simply gained access to the database and started stealing information. There was one specific database that they were looking for though, a high roller database containing information on the biggest spenders at the casino. This included things like their credit card numbers, names, addresses, and other private information. They also stole the source code for the software used in MGM's slot machine, allowing them to reverse engineer how the games worked. After taking all of this information, they returned to the hotel network on October and began deleting files, causing the room key cards to stop working. Then, on the same day, they deleted all of the video surveillance footage from the hotel servers. At this point, it was clear that the hotel had been hacked. But here's the thing, it's not illegal to hack into someone's network if you do you actually steal anything while you're there. So technically, the hackers weren't doing anything wrong when they initially accessed the network. But after they stole the credit card information and then deleted surveillance footage, things got very serious. At this point, the FBI got involved and they charged both Joshua Hall and his accomplice, 21-year-old Matthew Bowden, with unlawful access to a protected computer, resulting in tangible loss, over $100 million worth of tangible loss. To put that into perspective, the previous known record for damages caused by a cyberattack was around $7 million. This incident blew that number out of the water, making it the most expensive cyberattack in history. Now, keep in mind that these guys were only charged with facilitating the attack. We don't know if they were also the ones who actually stole the data, but either way, both of them are facing up to 5 years in prison and will likely be sentenced soon. Now, this isn't the first time that Scattered Spider has made headlines, by the way. The group claims to have hacked into the database of an Italian soccer team and then threatened to release the players' private information unless the team paid them a ransom. When the team refused, the group allegedly leaked 28 gigabytes of information, including private text messages and emails. I find it kind of ironic that a group of hackers, who pretended to be fans of the team, ended up becoming enemies of the team. But it goes to show that these groups aren't just some random kids messing around. They're extremely organized and they mean business. In fact, another group of hackers recently targeted the popular messaging app Signal and managed to compromise the account of CEO Brian Acton using this access. They posted a message on his account claiming that Signal had been hacked and urging users to download the new Signal app. Of course, the new Signal app was a front, and anyone who downloaded it had their phone completely compromised. So these groups aren't some random kids pretending to be hackers. These are real hackers who are constantly looking for ways to make money, and they've come up with some extremely sophisticated methods for doing so. We don't know exactly what motivated this group to target the MGM Grand, but it was likely a combination of factors. For one, MGM is a massive corporation, and the group likely saw it as a challenge to take down such a big company. Additionally, MGM is a highly profitable company, and the group likely saw the potential for financial gain. But perhaps most importantly, the group was able to identify a weakness in MGM's security measures and they exploited it. The fact that a single phone call was all it took to bring down the entire system is a testament to the power of social engineering. It's a reminder that no matter how strong a company's technical defenses are, they are only as strong as their weakest link. And in MGM's case, that weakest link was the human element. This story is a reminder that we should all be on guard against social engineering attacks, no matter how big or small the company we're dealing with is. Just because MGM is a massive corporation with deep pockets, does UNT mean that they're immune to this type of attack? In fact, it may make them even more vulnerable, since they may be more likely to trust that their size and wealth will protect them. At the end of the day, this was a costly lesson for MGM, but hopefully it's one that other companies will learn from. As technology continues to evolve, we can expect new and more sophisticated hacking techniques to emerge. But one thing will always remain the same: the importance of vigilance. Whether you're a tech giant or just an everyday person, don't let your guard down. Be prepared for anything. Would you have done anything differently? Let us know in the comments below. Also be sure to like and subscribe and check out our other videos.